Okay, so today I'm delighted to be able to share with you a first look through this latest book here from Nette and Iain McIntyre, and it's Dangerous Visions and New Worlds, Radical Science Fiction, 1950 to 1985. Now, their previous two books have both been absolutely fantastic. This was their first one, Girl Gangs, Biker Boys and Real Cool Cats. And last year's offering was this one, Sticking It to the Man, which was once again filled with so much stuff that I'd never come across before, and really delighted with it. So as soon as this one popped through my letterbox, I had to get stuck in. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's take a look. Okay, so let's look at that front cover. Great stuff. Lots of classics on there. Published by PM Press, who published the other two books as well. And yeah, plenty in here. So this is a real sort of literary look at the world of science fiction. And it's just like it says there, 1950 up to 1985, and what a period that really was with science fiction, and science fiction, you know, moving to the mainstream and the mass market, really, I guess. Some great stuff here. Absolutely no publisher has been left untouched here, and all the main sort of players from the era are discussed. This is Moorcock when he was editor at New Worlds Science Fiction, the British pulp, and I believe the editors have trawled collections right around the world to get images for this book, just like they did with their previous volumes, and that's what makes it so interesting to a book collector, seeing all the different editions. This is a very interesting chapter. Wyndham's one of my favourite authors, and this sort of puts them all into perspective. I really enjoyed this chapter from David Chiricio. More looks at New Worlds here, and this is a feature on Philip K. Dick, great author, one I certainly enjoy sort of collecting. When I see him, he's become quite a collectible these days, collectible author. Some of the TV End of the World dramatizations, the great Quatermass books, A for Andromeda. Survivor is my personal favourite from that sort of era, and the two books are, I think both books are actually really good. The Survivors one differs slightly with the ending to the TV show, and the second one is particularly good. Yeah, it's really good. That once again, elements from that second book were used in the TV series. Brian Aldiss. One more con. And it really was an incredible period for science fiction in general, wasn't it? And that's what the book is putting its finger on, really. It's really just analysing how that came to be, and you know, science fiction and I guess a little bit of fantasy becoming totally mainstream, which is what it is today. No one bats an eyelid at genre fiction nowadays, but back then, particularly science fiction, it was not your norm. These are some of the early Philip Jose Farmers. These are quite sought after copies these days. And although I've not finished reading this right the way through, what I've read so far has been really educational. Sometimes on, so look at all this Warcock stuff, sometimes on subjects I'm not really that familiar with, and that's what makes this great. So you will definitely learn something new, even if you've been a real fan of the genre. Here's an example there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different adaptations of Damnation Alley, the Roger Zelazny. I love stuff like that. More on eco. So we've got the Ballard stuff now. This is an author I've been getting into recently. Picked up a nice Ballard collection and in the last few months, and I've been dipping my toe in and out. Just fantastic. Look forward to reading that. R11. And quite a few titles I recognise, and then there's some that I honestly know nothing about, and I shall enjoy looking through these in a bit more detail. Oh, Colin Wilson, a great author. Did an event with him back in the early 90s. He was so nice. Really, really great guy. And Christopher Priest, he's an author I want to read a few more of. I think he's perhaps due a little revival. But you have to wonder what they might tackle next. Doctor Who, very close to my heart here. Some great books here. Our children began reading the in total by the early Doctor Who books. Here's a look at some of the early Dolls. Donald A. Wilhelm. Lots of Penguin in here, and here's the SF present of J.G. Ballard. This one's devoted entirely to J.G. and boy oh boy, he's just fantastic. It's that's the hardback edition of Crash, and there's the Panther paperback, highly collectible edition of that one. That's the US paperback of it. Very, very nice. I would have loved to have met him. My friend, the Outlaw bookseller, big science fiction fan, he's going to absolutely enjoy going through this, and he met Ballard multiple times at events. Fantastic. These are really good. What's that? Look at that. I've never seen that edition of Logan's Run before. Never ever seen that. That must be the original hardback, I guess. Yeah, Logan's Run, Dial Press, 1967. Wow. You see the movie tie-in quite a bit, don't you? But not that. That's the first time I've ever seen that. John Christopher, he's another one I've grown quite fond of lately. I read him as a child in the Tripods books, but just got into him lately. Dystopian future now. Some great books in that sort of area, isn't there? Oh, I almost don't want this to end. There's so much in here. A feminist future, so that female authors. It was predominantly a male-dominated genre, so and the females tended to edge a bit towards the fantasy, didn't they? Not all of them, but some of them. There's the Penguin edition of Monkey Planet, which is Planet of the Apes, of course. Vonda McIntyre, she was recently passed away as well, but she did some great... I've never read any of her science fiction beyond the Star Trek stuff that she wrote, so I'm quite looking forward to trying some of her normal SF. Octavia Butler. Brilliant editions here, isn't there? Women's press and sci-fi. And there we are, and there's a little bit about each of the contributors. So, wowee, what a great, great book, and definitely a worthy addition to put next to Sticking It to the Man, which I enjoyed last year, and then their first one, Girl Gangs, Biker Boys, and Real Cool Cats. Yeah, excellent stuff, guys, and PM Press have really done a great job producing yet another absolutely classic on a subject which is very close to my heart. So yeah, if you've got some money left over after Christmas or a gift voucher or two, I would pop down to your local bookshop and pick one of these up, because it's good stuff. So there you go. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it that thumbs up. Do please hit the subscribe button for regular vintage paperback content, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.